In this video, I'm going to try to answer the question how typing improves grades, and I'm particularly going to concentrate on words per minute, or the speed a student writes or types, and how that impacts exam results. And to do that, I'm going to share with you some results from one of my typing courses. Here are the results of one of my supervised typing courses. This is the words per minute that they achieved after attending a 4-day course. Now, at the beginning of the course, I got them to do a quick 1-minute writing test to see what their writing speed was. So student 1 had a writing speed of 10. Student 2 had a writing speed of 25, and we had everything in between, and that's a very typical range of writing speeds for my secondary students. And at the end of the supervised lessons, we see that some students could type considerably more than they could write, and other students not so much. So obviously, if you have a high words per minute when you write, then it's hard to get a speed that is faster, but this student did manage it by 1 word. This student managed it by 1 word, and this is at the end of the supervised training. So over the holiday, these students continue to improve, but this is where we got to with the supervised training. And I'm going to show you just how these improvements in typing over the 4-day period can impact on a student's grades. Now, I'm assuming we're talking about exam grades for essay-based exams. So we're talking English literature, English language, history, RS, anything that requires the students to write essays. Now, most GCSEs tend to be 3-hour exams, and the vast majority of students that come to me get 25% extra time, so they get an extra 45 minutes. So I have made the assumption, and it's a pretty vague assumption, that students will write for a solid 2.5 hours. So that gives them a lot of time for reading and planning, but actually writing essays for 2.5 hours of the 3 hours and 45 minutes. And I just want to demonstrate how much more each one of these students could write in that 2.5 hour period if they typed rather than wrote by hand. And so for student 1, who made the biggest increase, going from 10 words per minute to 38 words per minute, in 2.5 hours, if he were writing the exam, he could write 1,560 words, assuming that he had the knowledge. It's not magic, it doesn't put knowledge into students' heads, but if they have the knowledge, that's the amount of words that they could write over 2.5 hours if they had a writing speed of 10 words per minute. At 38 words per minute, they could write 5,928 words, which is an extra 4,300. Now, I've assumed there are about 15 words in a sentence. So in a 2.5 hour exam, this student could write over 290 more sentences in a 2.5 hour period. That gives them the opportunity to earn a lot more marks. But let's look at a student that's made a very little increase. So this is just 1 word per minute, but over 2.5 hours, that's another 156 words, which is on average about an extra 10 sentences. Well, just 1 or 2 sentences could be the difference between a pass and a fail, a B and an A and an A star. So even if we only have a 1 word per minute increase, I think that's worth having. So I really hope this demonstrates that it is worth getting the words per minute up as much as possible. And this is information I show the students because it motivates them. Students want to do well in exams. Very often they have the knowledge, but they struggle to get it down on paper in order to get marks. And I believe that being a laptop user in exams and touch typing quickly is something that can really help dyslexic students get much higher grades. Typing not only improves the quantity of work written, it can also drastically improve the quality of the written work. And I talk about that a lot in other videos that I'd recommend you checking out.